The people of the Huns. Little is known from their ancient records. Dwelling beyond the Maeotic Sea near the icebound ocean, exceed every degree of savagery. Since there, the cheeks of the children are deeply furrowed with the steel from their very birth, in order that the growth of hair, when it appears at proper time, may be checked by the wrinkled scars. They grow old without beards and without any beauty, like eunuchs. They all have compact, strong limbs and thick necks, and are so monstrously ugly and misshapen that one might take them for two-legged beasts. But although they have the form of men, however ugly, they are so hardy in their mode of life that they have no need of fire nor of savory food, but eat the roots of wild plants and the half-raw flesh of any kind of animal, which they put between their thighs and the backs of their horses, and thus warm it a little. They are never protected by any building, but they avoid these like tombs, which are set apart from everyday use, for not even a hut thatched with reed can be found among them. But roaming at large amid the mountains and woods, they learn from the cradle to endure cold, hunger, and thirst. When away from their homes, they never enter a house unless compelled by extreme necessity, for they think they are not safe when staying under a roof. They dress in linen cloth or in the skins of field mice sewn together, and they wear the same clothing indoors and out. When they have once put their necks into a faded tunic, it is not taken off or changed until, by long wear and tear, it has been reduced to rags and fallen from them bit by bit. They cover their heads with round caps and protect their hairy legs with goat skins. Their shoes are formed upon no lasts, and so prevent their walking with free step. For this reason, they are not at all adapted to battles on foot, but they are almost glued to their horses, which are hardy, it is true, but ugly, and sometimes they sit on them, woman-fashioned, and thus perform their ordinary tasks. From their horses, by night or day, every one of that nation buys and sells, eats and drinks, and, bowed over the narrow neck of the animal, relaxes into sleep so deep to be accompanied by many dreams. And when deliberation is called for about weighty matters, they all consult as a common body in that fashion. They are subject to no royal restraint, but they are content with the disorderly government of their important men, and, led by them, they force their way through every obstacle. They also sometimes fight when provoked, and then they enter the battle, drawn up in wedge-shaped masses, while their melody of voices make a savage noise. And as they are lightly equipped for swift motion and unexpected in action, they purposely divide suddenly into scattered bands and attack, rushing about in disorder here and there, dealing terrific slaughter. And because of their extraordinary rapidity of movement, they are never seen to attack a rampart or pillage an enemy's camp. And on this account, you would not hesitate to call them the most terrible of all warriors, because they fight from a distance, with missiles having sharp bone instead of their usual points, joined to the shafts with wonderful skill. Then they gallop over the intervening spaces and fight hand to hand with swords, regardless of their own lives. And while the enemy are guarding against wounds from their saber thrusts, they throw strips of cloth tied into nooses over their opponents, and so entangle them that they fetter their limbs and take from them the power of riding or walking. No one in their country ever plows a field or touches a plow handle. They are all without fixed abode, without hearth or law or settled mode of life, and keep roaming from place to place like fugitives, accompanied by the wagons in which they live. In wagons, their wives weave for them their hideous garments. They cohabit with their husbands, bear children, and rear them to the age of puberty. None of their offspring, when asked, can tell you where he comes from, since he was conceived in one place, born far from there, and brought up still further away. In truces, they are faithless and unreliable, strongly inclined to sway to the motion of every breeze of new hope that presents itself, and, sacrificing every feeling to the mad impulse of the moment. Like unreasoning beasts, they are utterly ignorant of the difference between right and wrong. They are deceitful and ambiguous in speech, never bound by any reverence for religion or for superstition. They burn with an infinite thirst for gold, and they are so fickle and prone to anger that they often quarrel with their allies without provocation, more than once on the same day, and make friends with them again without a mediator.